Testing, testing. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Coffee Break of October. If you go ahead and find a seat for me, we're going to start in about 60 seconds. So go ahead and find a seat. Everyone you're talking to now will be here afterwards, so you can keep doing those awesome conversations. Thanks. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Coffee Break once again. My name is Christopher Wood. Up here with me is Nate Tucker and Dylan Wissenat. We are with Hive Think. We are a marketing consulting agency, but Dylan's going to talk about that in a minute. But I wanted to start with introducing what Coffee Break is and why we exist. So Coffee Break started almost exactly a year ago. I think we decided November last year was our first one. So next month we're probably going to do something special for that. We'll find out. But Coffee Break kind of was born out of the idea that we go to a ton of networking events and we love meeting people and interacting with them. But sometimes networking events suck and people just want you to pay them money and they don't actually care about what you're saying. And that doesn't feel good. And we realized that the way we interacted with people at networking events was not the same as how some other people interacted. And we realized that there was a transactional side of it and then a relational side. And so we said, what if we kind of did our own? And so we came up with this awesome idea called Gig City Networking. We invited a bunch of people out to a local restaurant and asked their opinions of it, and they said, that name sucks. And they said, also, networking is a bad word. It's a very dirty word. I don't want to be anywhere near that. And we're like, oh, we didn't know. And so we then realized that most of the people that we interact with and have a good time with are also introverts. And networking is like the flying spaghetti monster under the bed. You know, like you stay away from it as much as possible. So we said, okay, let's get rid of the word networking and let's get rid of the words Gig City, even though it's a really good drink and be caffeinated. Some people feel like it's a little too corporate-y, techy. And so we said, let's spend a couple of days just brainstorming. And so us and then Michael in the back, we spent the next probably 2 or 3 days just like individually brainstorming on names. And we all individually came up with the name Coffee Break, which was really cool. I think we had kind of come up with it at first. And we were like, nah, that's a terrible name. Let's not do it. And then we all did our own individual journeys and came back and said, no, that's the vibe. So that's how Coffee Break came to be. And we kind of matched and mirrored our pillars based on a local nonprofit called Be the Change Youth Initiative, which is the pillars of small business meets nonprofits meets artists and creatives. And their fourth one is youth. Our fourth one is resources, because it's hard to get youth out here on a Friday at 8:30 in the morning, because they're in hopefully school. And so we kind of built it out on that. And so real quick, I want to do an exercise. You don't have to run, don't worry. Raise your hand if you are here as a small business person, whether owner, worker, etc. Cool. And everybody kind of look around, see what's going on. All right, now raise your hand. You can put them down. Raise your hand if you're here as a nonprofit representative. Awesome. And now raise your hand if you're an artist, musician, creative. Epic. And then raise your hand if you're like a resource, politician, counselor, etc. Yeah, nice. Cool. We got one. Yeah. Welcome. So we really enjoy that it's such a diverse spectrum of types of people here. And we wanted to make that the forefront of the intentionality. And we wanted it to be a place where people could feel like they were making relationships instead of being sold to. So that's why Coffee Break exists. That's why we do it the way we do it. And now we're going to do the next part, which is the shout outs. And that's neat.
Shout out time, y'all. Best time. Let's do it. Okay. So before we actually get into shouting out all the awesome people here who helped make this Coffee Break happen, I first want to do a kind of personal shout out. So last weekend was the Green Eyes Festival in Chickamauga that me and Dylan have been working on for a year now to create the best like spooky, cryptid, ghost folklore festival ever. And I think we got pretty close to that goal. It was incredible. We had around 4,500 people show up, which for Chickamauga is crazy. They've barely ever had to have like events that large, and we expected like maybe 2,000, 3,000. So blew us out of the water, and a lot of y'all helped with that. So thank you so much to the people who were volunteers that day, to Aaron and Walnut Street Publishing for doing our storytelling portion and setting up an amazing art booth. Thank you to Andy for creating incredible artwork. So yeah, thank you to everyone who came and helped support that. Yeah, so now getting into coffee break and the people who make this amazing event happen. First, I have to shout out our good friends from Jam Sessions Productions, who are our live streamers, our videographers. So thank you, Joshua. Thank you, Michael. Incredible. Because, yeah, every coffee break is live streamed and on our YouTube channel. So if you want to relive this moment, you can go back and do that. Yeah. Yeah, so next person I want to shout out is I want to shout out our incredible musician today, which is Eric Kirkendoll. Eric, do you want to say anything? You don't have to, but do you want to? Okay, he's good today. But Eric is part of a duet called Waxing and Waning with his wife, and they are incredible. Check them out. They actually performed at the Green Ice Festival, and everyone loved them. We've gotten so many compliments about their amazing music, so check them out. I believe they're on Spotify right now, Waxing and Waning, right? Yes, they are. Okay, great. Next, I want to shout out our amazing artist for today, which is our friend Gali. You want to talk? Heck yeah. Incredible. Oh boy.
Hey guys, I'm Gali. So I am a painter. I do a variety of landscapes as well as portraits. And then I am also a photographer. Do portraits, headshots, branding photos, family, couple, as well as weddings. So I have a little booth over there. I've got original paintings, I've got prints, I've also got ornaments. So come say hi, I'd love to meet you.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Gali. So at every coffee break, we also try to highlight a local nonprofit. Often it's our give back partner at Caffeinated. And for October, that friend is Lux Rescue. So Tina from Lux Rescue has got to come up and tell you a little bit about what they are about. Awesome. Thank you, Tina.
Thank you. My name is Tina Coffey, and I'm on the board of Lux Rescue, and we are located in Dade County, Georgia. And we're brand new this year 501c3 that is doing animal rescue, mostly dog rescue. We want to say that Dade County is challenging. There is no animal control, there's no shelter, and there are no laws really to protect or to serve any animal rights there. So you can imagine the situation there. It's a little challenging to say the least. Our founder is Audrey Luck. And I do want to mention that we are, of course, on Instagram. We have over 500,000 followers on our social media or on Facebook. Instagram is Rescue With Me, and luxrescue.com is our website. We're looking to partner with other organizations, other businesses, nonprofits, etc. We do send quite a few of our pets to the north. We're partnered with people in Pennsylvania and in Michigan. So most of our dogs go there, and we transport them there. So we're feeding the dogs, we are rescuing dogs, we are vaccinating, we are spaying, neutering, we are looking for fosters, we're looking to build a shelter. So you can imagine we're really busy. So I just want to thank you for being for Be Caffeinated, for supporting us. And if you have any questions, please just come up and ask me. I would be happy to talk more about this.
Amazing. Thank you, Tina, and thank you for all that y'all over at Lux are doing. And if you want to support them, next Thursday at Be Caffeinated is their Give Back Day, so a portion of our daily proceeds will be going to Lux. I believe y'all are going to be set up at our North Shore location briefly that day, so yeah, you'll be able to talk to folks there more about what they do. But yeah, so before Chris comes up and introduces the speaker, a couple other faster shout outs. Of course, thank you to Be Caffeinated for supplying us with our coffee today. Yeah, and Morning Bee Bakery for our delicious pastries. Yeah, I think that's all from me. So Dylan, get on up here. Tell them a little bit about HiveThink and what we've got going on.
All right, hey y'all. Yeah, so I'm Dylan Wizenat. I'm one of the founders of HiveThink with these guys over here. And just a little bit about what we are offering. We are a full stack marketing and creative agency. So we can do most needs that you have, either marketing or creatively. I have also myself started independently doing social media management, which is kind of the bread and butter from whenever I was at the agency world. As my day job. So that's what we do. If you want to ask any questions or schedule a time to chat with us, we have a little QR code up here, or you can just come talk to one of us afterwards, and we'd love to talk to you about it. And then lastly, a fun project Nate and I are working on is something that's like newly in the books, and it is a mobile bar cart. So that's something that we are working on actively, and we will give you more details soon. But yeah. Oh, and the Discord. Another QR code over here. We have a Discord community. If you don't want coffee break to end and you want to talk to folks every single day, every hour, every minute, then you can join the Discord, and people will be in there. So go at it.
Who here has heard of Discord before? Raise your hand. Nice, more than I thought. So when I was in college and right after that, Discord was known as like the nerdy gamer chat thing, and it still is. So that's why we're on Discord. But no, it's what we use for our company communications at Caffeinated and HiveThink, and we at one point had built out a Facebook group for HiveThink, and Facebook sucks. It's terrible. I was telling Josh earlier, I feel like it's just where you go now to get yelled at by your grandma or their friends about things that they messed up. So that's why we're on Discord, and it's a way to keep talking. I feel like, you know, we meet and we do cool things once a month, but we miss you guys. And don't want to be on Facebook. So, but yeah, we also can act as tech support if you need help downloading Discord and logging in, because sometimes it's complicated, but it's a fun time. And we've got groups on there to where you can do like community resources, upcoming events. We're gonna make like a missed connections group for like, I talked to this dude who did web design, but I forgot their name or their business card, and you can kind of go on there for it. Did we already make that? Or do we still need to? Okay, yeah, it'll come. But anyways, now we're going to introduce the speaker. So I got one more hand-raising moment for you guys. If you weren't awake, now you are. That was awesome. That signaled that it was time to start. And, who here has heard of, we'll start at the beginning. Daily Ration was the first one. Bitter Alibi was first. Who here has heard of Bitter Alibi? Okay, now who here has heard of Daily Ration? Now, who here has heard of Clever Alehouse? Okay, now Civil Provisions. Yeah, now 50/50. And then, what is this one called? Lost in Transit. Yeah, and then, what's your place over at the golf course? You also doing that? Sweetens Cove? Yeah, cool. Did I miss any? Cool. Who here knew that all of those were run by the same people? Yeah, so my wife is raising her hand for all of them because we know that. Yeah, so it's really cool. So Jason Bowers is our speaker today, and so he started way back when, what was it, like 10 years ago at this point, at Bitter, and he's kind of come and taken over half of Chattanooga's food market in the best way possible, and has brought on Jeff Schwenke and Nelson, and just made a really awesome team. And we've become pretty good friends with them, and have worked a lot with them at Clever because they're in Red Bank, and we do a lot of stuff in Red Bank. And Daily Ration uses our coffee, which we're excited about. But yeah, they just do really cool stuff, and they treat their people well, and they've become really cool allies in this stage of Chattanooga. So, Jason, come on up, tell us about yourself, and then do your thing.
Awesome, thank you guys. Yeah, half of my intro has already been done, so that's. I'll tell a little bit about myself. I'm originally from West Virginia. My parents decided to become missionaries when I was 6 years old, so we moved to Central America for my childhood. Came back to West Virginia, moved here for college, went to Bryan College in Dayton, and My degree was in communications. I graduated in 2009, and it was the worst year to try to find a job. So I applied at 100 places. Nobody called me back, so I went to my second love, is bartending. So became a bartender, even though my mother wasn't proud at that moment. But now I hope she is. Just learned everything about the food industry. And in 2014, decided to open up the Bitter Alibi. After teaching for a couple years, my degree was in education, so taught for a few years, and then decided, let's get into the small business. I was always kind of this entrepreneur spirit, always trying to scheme a little bit around town, selling Yoo-Hoo and Mountain Dew that they didn't sell at the concession stand. That got shut down because I was taking money away from the sports boosters, so sad day. Yeah, I grew up on an exotic bird farm, so I used to sell eggs and exotic pheasants and duck and quail. So I've always kind of had that in my blood, with my parents especially. But really the big thing, Chattanooga has been such a great city to be a small business owner. For the last 10 years, it's groups like this that are so welcoming and so encouraging to kind of the community here. We have always been with the mindset of, we don't look at our neighbors as competition. We look at our neighbors as, how can we all be on the same page with things and attract larger groups of people to our places. Our first one being downtown off MLK. 10 years ago, there wasn't much business there. So we took a big risk in opening something there, and it's paid off. Opening up Daily Ration, that was kind of 8 years ago, was kind of a newly, renovated place. But we really just try to plug ourselves into neighborhoods and communities, because the biggest thing for us is, instead of following the tourist dollar or following the newest and coolest thing, we want to look back at being in business for 20, 30 years and say, we are pillars of these communities. So from downtown to North Shore to, up and coming Red Bank to one of 5 restaurants on Signal Mountain, it was really kind of always been part of our ethos to plug into these neighborhoods, partner with nonprofits, partner with other small businesses, and just not look at our neighbors in kind of a competitive nature. Our newest thing is this. Last year I was, a little backstory on the Choo Choo. It's one of the biggest spots in Chattanooga for tourism. They have millions of people come through here every year, and I lived here for 8 years before ever stepping foot in here. It just was never known as a local spot. It just didn't really have much to offer. And so this property was all purchased by a group out of Chicago. And so their big mission was, we don't want to operate it. We want locals to operate it. So we want to find local people to help, navigate the space. And we just want to be landlords. And I'm totally okay with that, because it's much better for local people to manage local spaces. So last year we took this on. Originally just the train car. I said, I just want the little train. It's a passion project. I had a 3-year-old boy. He would love it. So I was like, yeah, let's just do this, see what happens. And this last year, with the help of them, with the help of other local businesses in here, we've been able to put the turf down, new furniture. Nuga Lights is a local operator for 3 months. They're doing this cool walkthrough with Halloween right now, and then it'll change into Christmas. But my big thing is to try to reach out to groups like this, nonprofits, who want to throw kind of cool events that you can put 3,000-4,000 people in the space here, block off Station Street, block off the front area. Just really try to make this a place where locals want to gather again, and tourists are impressed by it when they show up, instead of kind of saddened that there's nothing to do. And so we're excited for this year and definitely next year to be kind of the first re-envisioning of the Chattanooga Choo Choo, and hoping to just keep it growing and make it a cool place for people to hang out. If any of you are interested in having an event here. If you are, the event you talked about earlier, like something like that. We've done an outdoor festival. We have a giant market tomorrow that they're expecting about 3,000 people to come through, with all local vendors. We have a bluegrass festival coming up. We have a wedding Sunday morning. So there's a lot of room for spaces from the dome to the stage. If anybody's interested in doing things like that, I kind of get to manage that and do the pricing on it. So love to get locals kind of in the space again. Just encouraged by that. So I will end with that. I appreciate you guys coming and checking out the spot. And please introduce yourself. My email is jason@thebitteralibi.com. I run all the social medias for all the restaurants too. So if you don't remember that, just DM me on Instagram or Facebook. And actually just Instagram. You're right about Facebook. It's really difficult. Just Instagram, or just email any of the businesses, and I'll get back to you. Thanks, guys. Yes, sir.
All right, so we got some time for some open networking. Not networking, that's the wrong word. Community building. But first I want to say how cool it is that people like and Jeff and Nelson are focusing on local stuff. I loved all the words he said about neighbors aren't competition. There's over 300,000 people in the metro Chattanooga area. I can't serve that many people coffee. Y'all can't serve that many people food. So why not embrace our niches and our specialties and grow together instead of, having a scarcity mindset. So I love that. So that's why I think Chattanooga is trending in the right direction, is because we have people like them and nonprofit leaders and small business owners and artists and creatives pushing in the right direction. And I think we're just building what we want to consume. And I think if we do that, that's how we make Chattanooga better. So I would encourage you guys to meet someone you haven't met before, and try and leave today with an extra connection. Not using the bad word, but in those situations, I like to do what I call the 80-20 rule. So when I go to an event like this, I don't necessarily love meeting new people, but it's fun sometimes. But generally speaking, I'm a very anxious person. I don't want to talk to people that I don't know. So I've hacked my brain, and now I've turned it into a rule of I only talk to 20% new people. So I talked to 10 people today, only 2 people are new ones, and then the 80% are ones I've already known. The cool thing about this is the 2 people that I talked to today, next time are part of the 80% because I already know them. So if you just think of it in that long-term mindset, like the infinite game mindset, I'm building a arsenal of people I know. So you're kind of out of that awkward, small talk phase of, so what do you do? Yeah, and then next time you can have those conversations that are what you're actually here for, instead of getting out. It's like a first date. First dates suck. But the fourth dates are way more fun. Not that I've been on one in, 6, 8, 10 years? I don't know. My wife's giving me a look right now. Anyways, so to get rid of that awkwardness, I like to use the 80-20 rule. So if you've already met a bunch of new people, you don't have to meet new ones. But if you have space for more 20%, go ahead and do that, because the next time they'll be friends and not new people. Again, Discord link in the back. And then Deirdre, you want to come up and chat real quick? So we work really closely with Be the Change Youth Initiative. I feel like I'm legally required to say I'm on their board, and so I'm biased. But every bagel that you buy from Be Caffeinated, 50 cents of that goes to them for their food insecurity program. So you can eat New York style bagels and feel good about it. But they have an awesome event coming up in November, and that's what she's going to talk about. And it is the epitome of everything Coffee Break stands for. And you get cool stuff with it. So.
Thanks. Also, before I say that, I'll give a shout out to these guys as well. They have been huge supporters of us right now. For this month, next month, in December, if you go to Clever Ale, you can round up your bill, and that goes to Be the Change Youth Initiative. So in November, Clever is going to be one of our food sponsors for Empty Bowls. You have not heard of that. It's essentially a partnership that we have with another nonprofit called Scenic City Clay Art. And we kind of said, can we revolutionize how nonprofits fundraise by actually working together and not competing with one another? And can we also add to that giving back to the community? And so on November 13th, the Signal, also, fun fact, they never donate their space for free. They are donating to this event because that's how much they believe in what we're doing in the community. But we have potters from all around Hamilton County who have made handmade bowls that are beautiful. We have restaurants like Clever who are donating food. So this includes number 10, Mac's Kitchen, Need Loves, The Better Bakery. Shanti is here, so she's doing some of our desserts. And we're all coming together to raise money because we have a high school program called the Ambassadors of Change. So think of it as high school students who want to be leaders, and we are working with them at every level. When I say every level, I mean we are teaching them how to write press releases. They go and do interviews with us. They've done radio interviews and TV interviews. They are learning about food insecurity, and those students have said we want to raise $25,000 for families in Hamilton County who are accruing food debt. So think kids who cannot afford lunch and breakfast at school. Last year, the food debt was $95,000 in Hamilton County. So they want to raise $25,000, and we're kicking it off with Empty Bowls. So if you are interested in learning more, you can talk to me or Sydney. Sydney's over there. Sydney's the founder and president of Be the Change. I'm her mom. I do all the behind-the-scenes stuff. But you can talk to us, but we would love to talk to you. If you want to get involved, we have lots of ways to get involved outside of Empty Bowls on this initiative. If you're an artist, if you're a business owner, come and talk to us. We would love to talk to you.
Yeah, and they're looking for donations right now from businesses to act as like auction items. They're also looking for money if you have extra that later on. I don't know. All right, final plug. So next week, like they said, is Lux Rescue Give Back Day. We've also done this really cool thing. So last year, we had this cool idea to do a pup cup calendar. So if you've ever been to be caffeinated with your dog, our baristas have probably begged you to let them have a pup cup. Sometimes we have to argue with the customers, like, no, your dog needs this today. They're like, no, it's not good for him. We're like, we don't care. This is for us, not them. And so last year we were like, oh, what if we did a pup cup calendar? Nate did an awesome job, but he was constrained by me telling him that he could do it, and so it was kind of late because of me. So this year, him and Janet were able to start things early and kind of kick me out of the way. So it's actually on time this year. And so, Janet, is it going to be ready by next week or maybe not? Cool. So we're going to do pre-orders next week. So we worked with Lux Rescue, and Janet and a couple other people did a dog photo shoot at our North Shore location, and cats. It was the most cats that have ever been. There were 7 cats. It was great. There is like Sphinx cats, like they looked like they were dying, and they weren't, but a bunch of dogs. And so now the calendar is like super professional quality. Last year we did use like consumer generated or customer generated, so the quality was kind of like hit or miss. But this year, all of the pictures are great. Janet's organized it. There's some fun dates in it from Be Caffeinated. There's little Easter eggs. But yeah, and so a portion of the proceeds of those calendar sales go to Lux Rescue. And who doesn't want a really cool pup cup calendar of dogs just eating whipped cream and bones and not caring what they look like? So yeah, so we're doing pre-orders next week. It's a really fun one, and it's right before the holidays, so you can buy it for your grandma that yells at you on Facebook. Thanks for coming today. Every coffee break is every month, second Friday of the month. So the next one will be in November. Just go on your calendar and look at the second Friday, because I don't know what the date is. Thanks, Jason and Jeff, for letting us use this, and see you next month.